Welcome to another episode of the Salty Golfer Show. I am your co-host, Wes, a.k.a. Salty.
Erik Fromm
is in the house.
is here.
We're here in the ice box. We've kind of nicknamed the garage the ice box.
It's the ice box. Although today it was
very spring-like day.
It hit
today.
70 today. I was pretty upset
nice.
not to be out on the golf course today. So.
Correct. A little intro about the show today. We're gonna talk a little bit Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Keegan Bradley.
2025.
You've played the venue.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. Yeah. And future golf, what kind of we're looking forward to the first of the year, goals, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe some upcoming trips we have or possibly have. And some local stuff going on here in Myrtle Beach. It's very exciting.
Absolutely.
That they just dropped the promo video for the Q.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that. Yeah, we'll get more into that. Let's dive right into the Ryder Cup. 2025, we're at Bethpage Black.
Yes.
Keegan Bradley's the captain. We talked a little bit about this before. If I'm Keegan Bradley, this is my opinion. He got a raw deal.
Right.
From the last Ryder Cup.
Yes.
I thought he should have been on that team.
Yeah.
That guy bleeds America blue, red, white, and blue, through and through.
Yeah.
Rumor has it he still has a suitcase packed from the time he lost the last one. He wanted it so bad.
Right.
This guy is all team. I think he'll make a great captain.
Yeah.
He will definitely kick Zach Johnson's ass as a captain. That guy was garbage. And but I would say if I was Keegan Bradley and I'm playing well, I might be a player captain.
Must see golf TV if it comes down to that. If he's playing well enough that he would be on that bubble of is he going to get picked? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be amazing sort of just to watch it unfold.
Do you know who the last player captain was for the U.S.?
I do not know.
Arnold Palmer, 1963, excuse me.
Arnold Palmer. Okay.
U.S. won 23-9.
So he'd be joining some lofty company.
Yeah, so there's only been 3 Americans to do this.
All right.
Arnold Palmer, Walter Hagen, and Ben Hogan.
Woo.
There's been one European back in 1933, J.H. Taylor.
Okay, so this would not be common. Yeah,
not common.
Especially not recently. Yeah. It would be wild.
I think it would be difficult. But we saw Tiger. He was a player captain for the other one, not the Ryder Cup. President's Cup.
Yeah.
He did okay.
Yeah.
He did just fine.
Right. Well, he's another sort of, Mount Rushmore figure there.
Sure.
So I don't know if I would put Keegan
there.
Not
at all. Not at all.
Different discussion. But.
So you've played there. I've never been there.
Yeah.
You just played it once?
Played it one time. Yeah. Played it in.
Did you do the whole, had to go to the parking lot?
No. So
all of that?
Yeah. Part of me says, I'm glad we didn't have to.
Sure.
We got in through a friend had a connection and lived in New York, so it was like resident sort of situation, and they just had a connection tied to the U.S. Open. It was sort of, hey, if you ever want to get out and play around, you let me know. And so we a bunch of buddies from college sort of jumped into that mix. Part of me wishes we would have done the whole thing, right?
Sure.
Gone up, stayed in the parking lot, done the whole thing, but we were able to just pull up for our tee time.
Was it as advertised?
Yes. Yeah. It was it's a really big property. I think that's going to play well for crowds.
Sure.
Right? So there's just
for those that don't know, there's multiple courses out there. Right?
Oh yeah,
there's black,
there's a ton. Yeah, it's a huge just kind of municipal sort of park sort of. But yeah, it's an expansive property. So they'll be able to do whatever they want as far as just things going on sort of around the event. But yeah, it's every bit as just, I think the elevation change, sort of the what they carved out, and just it's just a big golf course, right?
Were you able to, when you were there, I'm sure were you able to see where the tour tee boxes were?
Yes.
Compared to where you played? Is it massively different?
Yeah. I mean, they can stretch it way out, right? So guys that are hitting it pretty darn well are like struggling to get it to the fairway.
What's the biggest defense out there? Is it rough?
Its length is they can make it super long.
Yeah.
The rough, they can make it as long as they want,
Right.
and it's just, and then if you're out of position, hitting out of that rough to a green that's 30 feet above your ball, there's shots out there that are just, I mean, I have a couple of pictures of just me just like, what do I do here?
Right.
Yeah. I can see these pictures from that long ago, but I will say I had a horrible time on the first tee. So I don't know if you know as you're coming up to the black course, and I don't know exactly what it says, but basically it's like for great golfers only.
Right.
It's
the
like
little sign there.
There's a little sign. It's an iconic piece of the property. It's like the rest of the courses are approachable.
Right.
If you don't belong here, don't golf on the black course, right? Of course, we're like, okay, whatever. Like, we're all pretty good players, and we step up, but the first tee is it's right off the clubhouse.
Sure.
And it is surrounded by an elevated patio.
That sign is like as you're going down the steps to go to the course, right?
Yeah. Right. So you're walking straight into it. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. And you go down, and here we are. It's again, it's a big public golf course. Sure. There's people everywhere on this big raised patio looking down on the first tee. So you've got yourself an audience.
Yeah.
And
so tons of people can just watch you.
And it's just anybody who's waiting to play or who's just there is sitting and waiting.
So you feel those nerves.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is the first tee is probably, I mean, gosh, I don't know, at least a 50-foot drop.
Sure.
Right. So it's tee box straight down, and then the big beautiful fairway. And I topped it. And just barely made it past the tee box, and it just rolled down this 50-foot hill in front of everybody. I was mortified.
Yeah.
It was just like, you're standing right next to the sign. Like, hey, buddy, did you just see the sign? Like,
you should have played the red course.
or the red tees. Right. It's just, you don't belong here. Ended up, I have no idea what I shot that day, but it was, it was okay. I sort of recovered.
Yeah.
But it was,
that's a fantastic story.
Right off the first tee, right next to the sign, I duffed it right off the tee. So
that leads me into kind of the next thing I want to talk about. So home team sets the course up.
Yeah.
The U.S., we're known for hitting the ball very far, not always straight, but far.
Right.
Europeans are known for maybe not as far off the tee, but in the fairway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think maybe the rough's not as gnarly as it could get there, or
who knows?
Are we relying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm very curious to see how they set the course up.
Right.
Because I know when they have like U.S. Opens there, the rough is some places you can't even find your ball.
That's right.
3 feet off the fairway.
Yeah.
And I know there's different spots out there. Just watching that tournament and just watching things on YouTube, that there's areas of that golf course where you should find the ball, but you don't.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm very curious, because historically the U.S., which is longer off the tee, but we're not as straight off the tee.
Right.
I mean, just look at what Bryson did back there when he, bulked up. Like, he didn't care if he hit it in the rough because he was only 123 yards from the green, right? So I can hit a wedge out of anything and get it on the green. So I'm curious to see what they do, and I'm excited to see what they do. Not just because of not just because of the golf course it is, but of where the golf course is in New York.
Yeah,
like
it's going to be
those fans, and you're on top of them pretty. Like, you get pretty close at Bethpage.
Yes.
Or where the fans will be, and there'll be some chatter, and the Europeans hate it.
Yeah, so
hate it.
It's amazing to see the difference between how the U.S. plays home soil. Yeah, and I don't know. It's such a good event.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just it brings out so much emotion.
Yeah,
just every shot is just
right.
Electric. So yeah, I love a good Ryder Cup year. So I'm looking forward to it.
And it's cool because Keegan, he's a Boston guy, loves sports like across the board.
Sure.
Loves everything sports.
Yeah.
And he's a real rah-rah guy. I think he'll blend with those New Yorkers, even though he's from Boston.
Yeah.
And I think they'll get behind him. And I'm pulling for a player captain here.
Yeah,
I'm pulling for it.
We'll see.
I'm pulling for it. I'm not sure it'll happen.
Yeah.
But Keegan, I've always, being on staff with Cleveland Strixon, you kind of pull for the guys that are on the same staff.
Sure.
And I've always pulled for him. And I don't know, man. I would love to see.
As long as he's not out doing the point putt system, whatever that is, over 2 footers,
aim point or whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's
he is a little slow.
He's a quirky fella.
He's quirky.
The
way he steps into a shot. Great shoe sponsor though. Jump.
Oh my gosh,
anything better than that?
Yeah, there's nothing better than that. So.
I can't imagine the pressure of being a captain and a player. I don't
Captain,
know.
player, home turf. Yeah. Especially if he gets in just by, if he picks himself and then
is that even more controversial? Like, if he's on the fence and there's like 4 dudes that are right there, like, all right, I'm betting on myself. Or does he like take the high road and pick someone? Like, bet on yourself. I'm betting on myself.
Oh, right, yeah. If I'm looking for like TV ratings all day, I don't know if that helps us win the Ryder Cup.
I mean, technically he only has to play once.
Yeah, it's going to be
maybe he only plays individuals. Yeah. I mean, or maybe he just does like a 4-ball thing and you can catch fire in a ball. I mean, who knows? Maybe he gets hot and he runs the gamut.
That's right.
Yeah. I can't wait. We have to wait till the end of the golf season to get there.
That's right. Yeah, it's too long, too far
long
away.
of a wait.
So, what else? 2025. What else are you looking forward to?
I want to touch this real quick.
Yeah.
Can you put, and I haven't done a ton of research on this, but why do we suck over there?
Oh, man.
Because on paper every year, it's over there, we should win.
Yeah.
And we don't.
Sports in general, right? Numbers are what they are, and then there is something that gets in people's heads. It's, like a baseball player that can't hit in that ballpark, or or in front of that fan group, and obviously there's such an advantage of feeding off the energy of the home crowd, and I do think there is something too. The Europeans set up the golf course in such a way that gives them that little bit of edge. Sure. And if that
Paris pissed me off, man.
Yeah, and then if the Americans just let it get in their heads.
Sure.
I can commiserate with if they get a little something in their head and they they go dark a little bit.
Do you know what? Like when I played college basketball, I think some of my best games were on the road.
I loved playing.
I
on
loved
the road.
going in someone else's gym.
Yeah.
And totally destroying them.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, home games are fun. But going on the road, traveling, playing in a place you don't know, everyone hates you.
I agree.
And you still get it done. It's the best feeling in the world.
Right. I guess I would say golf is just that a little bit different.
Yeah, I would agree.
You can't just say you got to pick. It's just a different game where you can't. Like we're playing basketball, and I'm just gonna go out and just tonight's the night. I'm going to rub it in the opposing fans' faces. Golf is you got to pick your spots, and you can't play with raw. Just I don't know. I think it's different. It doesn't. I think there's a different dynamic in golf where if you have you want to you can play emotionally in other sports where you can't in golf, and I think that
golf's
that's my take on it. Yeah,
only games you cannot get too high or too low.
Right. Yeah.
Because I make way more bogeys after birdies than I do birdies after birdie.
Yeah.
Because you get high.
Right. Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, that feels great.
Right.
And then you bogey.
Skip the next tee.
Right, right. All right. We've got a really cool thing coming up in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
So this year, we had the inaugural Myrtle Beach Classic.
Yeah. Awesome event.
We showed out. The community showed out.
Yes.
It was It was the best golf tournament that mirrored a elevated event on the season.
Right.
We had 20, 30,000 people out here. It was phenomenal.
Right.
Rave reviews from the tour.
Players
everything.
loved it. Yeah.
I played in the Pro-Am. 2 different pros told me that they were the best fairways they played in all year.
Yeah. I believe it.
The Dunes, we know that place. Beautiful out there.
Right.
Great golf course. Well, obviously it's coming back. I've heard a lot of people say nothing's happened yet, but like this can become its own event, not an elevated, like not a mirrored and elevated event.
Right.
Like
right.
this, it was that good that
it caught the tour's attention.
Correct.
And the players are, they're not going to give any pushback there.
Correct.
Yeah. So I heard that buzz pretty quickly after the event. It was like, ooh, we could. There's something here.
Yeah. Could you imagine Roy McIlroy?
Oh my
some of those
gosh.
guys coming here, like you're talking like from 25 to 30,000, like you're at like 45, 50,000 people coming to see this thing, like crazy.
Right.
Like that's exciting to me. But what is exciting, as you know, the kind of reach we have on social media and Instagram and all of that stuff, they're bringing back the Q. For those that don't know, the Q last year was they invited. It was kind of half and half. It was like half Corn Ferry Tour guys, half golf influencers. Like, and we're talking like serious influencers.
Right.
They have like millions of followers. One of the Bryan brothers was in it.
Right.
George was in it. In fact, he won. But what they do is you play one round of golf at TPC Myrtle Beach, and it's winner take all. If you win, you're in the Myrtle Beach Classic.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's never been done before.
Right.
It took a lot of when the Play Golf Myrtle Beach crew went and proposed this. It took a lot of selling. Like, in fact, there's a story going around like right at the 11th hour, the PGA Tour was thinking, I'm not so sure about this.
Pull the plug. Yeah.
And you know why? It's because one of the influencers, his name was Fat Perez.
Right. Yeah.
And they were like, I don't really know if we want to associate something like this with this.
Right. Right.
And so, literally at the 11th hour, PGA Tour was like, not so sure. But anyway, they did it.
Yeah.
And it rave reviews. The way that they did it and how they showed it just through YouTube is how they presented the whole thing.
Right.
Which we know what the golf YouTube community is massive. There's more people watching golf on YouTube than any other platform right now. I would say even Thursday through Sunday on CBS or NBC or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. It was really fun to watch because you really get a sense of how hard tournament golf is. You've got Corn Ferry Tour guys which have played in it. They know that pressure of stepping up to a tee and blah blah blah. But think about me or you.
Yeah.
And we're in an opportunity to make a PGA Tour event. I can't imagine what my body would feel like stepping up to that first tee.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between... even if you're thinking about the tour, you've got top guys in the tour. These are millionaires playing for millions of dollars.
Sure.
10th place takes home a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. You look at
30th place takes home a lot of money.
You look at Q School.
Yeah.
Or guys trying to bust through the Corn Ferry Tour. I mean, I went through I had to do the playing test for the PGA program.
Sure.
I guess former life I was getting into the PGA program, and that was 36 one day. You either pass or you don't.
Yeah.
And you're kind of playing for your career, really. Like,
right.
You can't progress through the program unless you pass this test.
Right.
And it took me, I think it was my 3rd or 4th try.
Really?
And like I had to put up a number on the back 9 of my, the back 9.
Where was this at?
I passed in Pompano Beach, Florida.
Okay.
I don't know if the course was Pompano Beach, but I remember the town. Horribly difficult.
Jeffrey, isn't that where that's your stomping grounds?
Lamar Jackson's from.
Oh.
Me and Lamar.
Yeah. Same style of athlete.
Tiny greens, horrible like long Bermuda rough where that ball just nestles, like you just miss the green by a bit. I'm just like hacky little chip shots all day, grinding. But I had to par the last hole.
What do you have to shoot?
It's usually somewhere around like it ends up being like 2 rounds in the mid 70s, right? So it's not,
you don't have to be under par or even par.
It's usually, I think, like
if you shoot 275s, you're good.
75, I think, yeah. It's usually like 75, 77 or 76, 77. It's
breaking 80.
Some number in there,
yeah,
right, where they set it for that course that day.
Right.
Yeah, had to par the last hole. I mean, I hit the fairway. I'll never forget the feeling in my arm. I could not feel my arms.
Yeah.
Shoulders to my wrists, couldn't feel a thing. I was just numb because I'm like, this is it. I mean, like,
right.
If I don't make it here, like, am I really gonna keep going?
Sure.
Like, so, so then you ramp it up that much more. I mean, I had, that wasn't my life at the moment, right? To be thinking about it, like, for gobs and gobs and gobs of money.
Sure.
With the same feeling, I can't even imagine. So, but
and the point, and I'm not gonna. Anyone can go back and watch that. It's on YouTube. The Q. It's amazing. But you watch these people on YouTube, these influencers, and they look legit. Like a lot of them are scratch. Maybe some are plus. And then some are like maybe a 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. And then you could tell in real time the nerves that got to these people. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were shooting some large numbers out there.
Yeah.
And I want to tell a story. I'm not going to name a name, but I had a really good buddy that made it all the way to he was in Q school.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is such a sad story. He was on the last hole. Double bogey gets him his card. That's how well he played.
Okay. I don't like where this is going.
Well, it is an incredible. It's a story of what you just talked about, and pipes his drive right down the middle. It's got like 170 in on a par 4, long par 4, and he tells the story like he got over the ball and his body just would not go. He could not take the club back.
Yeah,
like the pressure. He finally realized what this meant. I guess.
Yeah.
And he's over the ball. He's trying to like make himself swing the golf club, and he can't do it. Well, he finally does it, and he said that he barely hit the ball at all, and it just went dead right, a grounder. So now he's hitting 4. So they go to the ball. It rolled 120 yards, but it's a horrible shot. So now he's got just a little chip. Chip 2-putt, we're in,
Right.
Gets over the ball and same thing. Like I cannot swing the golf club.
Yeah.
And he blades this thing right across the green. Just right across the green. To the other side. Puts it in a bunker. And actually hits a somewhat decent bunker shot. But he was still 15 feet away, missed the putt.
Yeah.
And you know what? He never got back to that.
Yeah,
I mean, how many guys get to that spot, don't make it, and you never hear from them again?
Sure. Yeah, it's.
I mean, just here locally,
it's unbelievable.
There's so many good golfers that when you play with them here locally, you're like, God, oh man, he's got it.
Sure.
He's got the game.
You would see. I mean, when I was down in Florida, you're just around people playing all the time, just absolute sticks, and they're. Plus like a +3 handicap on any day, they're going low.
Yeah.
And they can't sniff the tour. They can't sniff it.
Yeah.
It's the courses are that much harder and the pressure is out of control.
Right.
And you have to be such a pure ball striker, and then you have to be such an elite putter.
Yeah.
That you can just, and then if you just can't handle that weight, is crushing.
Yeah. The closest thing I've ever been to that is we were in the playoffs in high school basketball, and we were down like 2 or 3. I can't remember, but I went up to the line with like 10 or 15 seconds left, and it was in playoffs, and I got that feeling. Like from my shoulder blades down to my fingers, I could not feel nothing.
Yeah.
And you almost get like I almost felt like I was going to pass out. I felt like there was nothing left in my legs because you know how much these 2 shots mean.
Right.
That's the only thing I can, I guess, compare it to.
Right.
I have played in some local golf tournaments and some stuff like where they announce you and then you, and when you're in that situation, you're just like, I don't care where this thing goes, just be airborne.
Well, you're on the first tee at Bethpage in front of
right
in front of 500
Lord, please
people,
let me.
and you dribble it off the tee.
Yeah, dribble it off the tee.
Oh, baby,
that's funny,
man.
But I'm glad that's coming back. I went every day to the Myrtle Beach Classic. It was so well done. I'm excited that it's coming back. I'm excited it did so well. I'm excited that the Q is coming back. I'm anxious to see who gets the call to come. If it's going to be somebody gets a call back, does George get to come back because he won it? Maybe I get a call. Hey,
come on!
I gotta get that. Gotta get that handicap down 2 or 3 more points before they even think about bringing Salty in. But
and we're gonna subscribe. We need
that's right.
Boost Salty's influence here.
That's right.
So
subscribe.
Get Salty to the queue. That's the 20.
That's right. Subscribe, like, share. Right? Isn't that what you say?
Yeah,
Isn't that what
that's
they
right.
say? Let's talk about our games.
Yeah.
And what we're thinking about for January in 2025 and any kind of goals that we're setting. And I tell you, I'll start. Okay? 2024, I went back with this thing like, do I want to put in the work, practice?
Yeah.
Do I want to try to get better? Am I happy just being a 5-7 handicap? I'm okay with that. And damn it, Eric, I'm ready to put in the work.
Come on, let's go.
I'm ready to put in the work.
You can't get to the queue without putting in the
queue
grind,
without
baby.
putting in the work. So I wanna get better.
Yeah.
And I'm losing weight. We're down 30 pounds. I'm wearing outfits I haven't worn in years. I feel like I look good on the golf course again.
Feeling good.
So that has inspired me to let's do it, man. Let's put in a few days a week. You don't have to overdo it, but go hit you a couple of buckets of balls, work on some things.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put in the work.
You put in some rounds last year, though.
I did
before we kicked off. I
posted.
One of my. I would love to play a few more rounds. I think I posted 24 this year.
Yeah, but you played more than that. I'm sure.
I was out on the course, but much more than that. Again, 6-9 holes with my son or a charity golf tournament. So yeah, I was out and about more than that. But
yeah, I would say respectively because I posted like 9 holes and short courses and all that.
Right.
Respectively, probably posted 43 full rounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Somewhere around that.
Yeah.
40.
Pretty strong.
Well, salty
Pretty
golfer.
Strong. Yeah.
You gotta live up to it.
Yeah. Living it.
But maybe more practice. Not so much gaming.
Yeah.
Because if there's no practice, the game, number one, you can't set any kind of expectation. Because one day you'll shoot a 77 and literally 24 hours later you can shoot a 92.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what you're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking for Ken Rollman. I've already we've kind of put a plan together.
Okay.
Doing some work with him.
Yeah.
Go hit some balls. You'll be doing some work with him too because we're going to create some content that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
he filled almost my whole bag last year, so little left to go.
I got
go back to Uncle Ken.
I got a great message from Strixon Cleveland today that they're going to renew my staff.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Excited. That kind of got me jacked up again.
Sure. Oh man, come on. New gear. We talked about it on the Christmas episode.
So I'm going to put in the work.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the reason the queue doesn't call. Okay? I'm not going to be the reason.
You heard it here first. If you see Salty on the range,
that's right. So
buy him another bucket.
That's right. So if it doesn't happen in 2025 because you've already got everyone picked, the queue, I understand. 2026 could be the year that
we have multi-year plans going on right now.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, goals for me. I want to break par this year. I'm sorry, 2025.
Yeah.
I've shot 68 a couple of times. That's my 2 lows. I haven't sniffed that in decades. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do it. I want to practice more. And I want my practice to be focused. I don't want to just go and do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to practice on individual things every time I go. This is another upcoming video, no free ads, but we might or might not have got a message from Rapsodo about a launch monitor.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that also helps being able to see your numbers.
Hey, all the data
in real time.
Yeah, absolutely. Gives you feedback of like what's actually happening in the golf ball. So.
And another thing that I want to do is I want to take a couple more bro trips.
Yeah.
Even if it's a day trip, even if it's a weekend.
Right.
Couple of more just boys going out there playing golf.
Right.
With your buds. You need that.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I know you're a big golf trip guy.
Yeah.
2025, what do you got going on? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I love the intentional practice. I'd love to get out there just a little bit more. Same thing. Just grind it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Work on something. Try not to take that lesson mentality to the golf course.
Sure.
So just let.
Do you find yourself doing that a lot?
Oh, absolutely. If I go out and I'm like doing a drill, that's like the only thing I'm thinking about when I go out and play.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
You do 6 drills before you even hit the ball.
Can you? My I think what stupid pre-shot routine is from I'm going to break out today.
Yeah.
That's a thing, but we're working on that.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
I like the long, the stroke thing you do when you're standing behind the tee on the tee box.
You don't worry about my stroke thing. But I would love to play. I missed a couple of club tournaments this year.
Sure.
I would love to play a little bit more tournament setting this year. Just kind of put it on. So
in tournaments, do you like a single or do you like a 2-man thing? Like I don't consider scrambles tournaments. I can't stand 4-man scrambles. Like I don't like, but I love a good member guest format.
Right. Yeah.
I love a 2-man event.
Yeah. Love it. The member guest. Missed it this year. I'm definitely looking forward to the Plunder. I mean, big plug to the Plunder. I mean that tournament was and is awesome.
Thank
you. And it is. You can tell it is right on the cusp of exploding.
Sure.
Just the buzz that was coming out of like as that thing finished up over at Caledonia the second day. Shout out to the fourth flight won the whole thing. Yeah.
I mean that validated that we got something going good.
Yeah.
When a fourth flight can win the overall shootout.
There were a lot of good golfers there, obviously. And, I mean, everybody that was there was saying, everyone was going back and saying, we got to get another 12 of our guys to come and, like, make this a point to put it on your calendar. So
yeah, it's at that weird place where do we leave it where we have it or do we include more teams?
I think, like you said, you want to get it to the point where you have the full golf course, shotgun format.
So that's probably 20 some more teams.
Yeah, so you're right there, and then probably keep it there. So yeah, I mean, so I don't know if I don't know when you start to plug that, but for anybody,
let's tell everybody what the Plunder is.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the Plunder is from my brainchild. We're going into our 5th year, I believe. I have a disdain for 4-man scrambles.
Yeah,
I've played really good golf with 3 other individuals, and we've gone really low, and we always get pencil whipped.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Does not matter. And the people that we get pencil whipped, you're like, oh my God, I saw you hit balls in the range. There's no way.
Right. That's a whole nother episode. Of rage.
Correct. But the Plunder, I wanted to create a highly competitive golf tournament for all ranges of handicaps. Mm-hmm. And it's a 2-man event, and you play 2 days. The first day is what you call Texas Tee, where it's you both hit your tee shot, and then you take the best one, and then you play your own ball all the way out.
Yeah.
And then the second day is literally best ball. You play your own ball. It's just you. And of course, it's handicapped. You must have a USGA handicap to play in this thing. It's $1,000 a team to get in. That's what it was last year. And we play for cash.
Yeah.
And you play
cash, and
most people are playing for this. This is what they want. They want the cutlass, the real pirate sword that we hand out as trophies for each flight winner. And that's what people are looking forward to playing for. And it's just so competitive, but yet it is a party. There is a party aspect to it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great 2 days. 2 great golf courses, True Blue Caledonia this past year, and so the whole thing was just, it's really well done. It's like what you would like a scramble to be, right? Yeah. It's like I would love to go out there and compete and know that I don't have to worry about we don't have to worry about people cheating. You know, it's like you don't have to worry about getting pencil whipped in that tournament because everyone's out. You know, it's a serious tournament, right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's but in an atmosphere that's, look, if you're out of the hunt day one, you're still gonna have an amazing time. Sure. So yeah, I mean, it's so that one's circled on the calendar. Me and my man Derek Oshman played pretty darn well. Yeah, I think we'll try to run that back. So yeah, I'd love that's a tournament I've got circled on the calendar as soon as it comes out. And then I just want to play a little bit more. Like I love going out and playing for $5-10 on it, but like to play like in a tournament, it's just a different game. So
it's tournament golf. We've said it before on the show. Like it is a different animal, and it doesn't matter if it's just this local whatever or if it's you're trying to Monday qualify for the tour. Like tournament golf is different. You're gonna normally shoot higher than you normally would in your Friday game. Yeah, it's just tough.
And I'd love I finished last stretch of scores were pretty darn good for me coming down the stretch. I clipped off one subpar round this year.
Nice.
So that was, I'd love to see a few more of those.
So what are we're talking about our USGA Rewind or whatever it was called. Yeah. What did you start at and what did you finish at?
I think it was somewhere mid threes, like a 3.5, 3.6. Yeah. And I'm a 2.3. So
about a point.
Trending in the right direction.
I'm a 6.5 down to a 5.5.
Okay. Yeah.
So 1 point.
So
I think when you get down to like kind of where we are, it's hard to see big
moves really in either direction. Certainly, it's almost impossible to see it go up.
Yeah, correct.
Because I got an 86 in there, and that just gets thrown out right away.
But I will say this: if you're not posting every round, you can forget about it going up. It won't.
Yeah, right.
It won't.
Yeah. So I'll never understand like a vanity handicap. Like, if I shoot an 86, I'm posting it.
Sure,
that was my high for the year. So that was
mine was an 88
for forgettable, but
shot an 88 at River's Edge.
Okay, yeah, and I would love to play more courses.
Yeah,
I think I end up playing 12 courses. This year. So
is there a lot here that you haven't played yet?
Yeah, my first year down here, I played a little bit more. That was before I joined the reserve, and
do you think that's strictly because you're a member at the reserve that you just feel like
and it's so
loyalty?
Close. Yeah, and then it's hey, I'm paying dues, I might as well go over there and play. But also it's
the reserve low key has maybe one of the best practice areas around.
Yeah, I mean, look, I said it before, it is perfect for me. Yeah, and
that putting green off the 18th.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a great spot. I mean,
arguably, I know it's a private course, but I would. And maybe it's a little bit easier because it is a private course, but I would stack those greens up to anyone in the Grand Strand.
Yeah, the greens are what make it. It's the absolute standout.
It doesn't matter what time of year. Right. They can be dormant. They're fast. Right. They could be green and lush. They're fast.
Members can complain about any number of things. The greens ain't one of them. Yeah. So and if you have great greens, you're going to have a good experience on a course. So if you're hitting it well and you have great greens, it's on you. So
the last time I played with you, you arguably, for me, hit the greatest shot I've ever seen you hit. on into
18.
18.
Yeah, that was
going for it in 2.
That was a purdy one.
So that's 3-wood?
That was 3-wood. Yeah, that was
Mama. That was
like 260. Bend it around a tree over water.
Yeah,
let's go.
Let's go. And I'm not talking like a little creek.
No,
it's a body of water.
Yeah. More of that next year.
Yeah,
I would love that. So
do you consider yourself aggressive? If you're lined up, you 240, same scenario.
Yeah.
If you know your best shot, the best shot you can hit is going to get you those results, but yet your worst shot, you're going to be in the water, or maybe a mediocre shot, you're in the water. If the percentage is higher, you're going in the water than not, are you still hitting the shot?
I'd like to say I'd play the shot that should be played. At least I try it. Right. So if it's a stock shot over water, I should go.
Let me re-ask that question.
Yeah.
You're in the member, individual member tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do y'all have an individual
you're in the club championship?
Yeah. You're in the club championship. You're chasing one. Birdie ties, eagle wins.
Yeah.
Are you hitting that shot? Or are you playing safe and trying to get the birdie?
I think I have to go. I'm not an elite wedge player.
Sure.
Right. So it's not like.
So anything, if you lay up to 120, there could be problems there too.
Sure. Yeah. So, and there is nothing worse in the world laying up and hitting a bad shot. I mean, it's hard. That's not going to sleep well that night, because
in that situation, I would rather be able to swing as hard, as full as I can.
Yeah.
Than a little nippy.
That's right.
75% wedge.
Right. Yeah. So it can depend on the situation. Usually, I'm going to go because my strength is more find a way to get the ball in the hole once we're close.
Yeah.
Than hitting a pinpoint shot from 150 in.
Right.
So that's just. Sort of know thyself. Just hit it.
I think that you're
just go for it. Yeah.
Just playing with you the times that I've played, and the answer you just gave kind of validated it. I think you're aggressively smart.
Right. I think situationally.
I think more times than not you're going to go.
Yeah.
If it makes sense to go.
Yeah.
But if it's, you also know how to put the big stick away and take your medicine.
Yeah. If I can see a place where I could miss, I'll swing so much easier.
Yeah.
And the result is usually so much better.
So
for me, it's like, is it time to go? And it's either like go, or you lose the ball. That's where it's.
So we're getting really nerdy here, but this is what I love about this stuff. So just we'll play that same shot. What were we, 245 out, something like that?
A little longer.
Hey, it's fine. You got a bunker. You've got water right the whole length of the green, even a little bit in the front. The bunker's not really in play because you were not even close to that.
Yeah.
You kind of got dead area to the left. Over's dead. Like that's a horrible chip back down the green. Hang on, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with this. But when you're setting up behind the ball, are you looking where I can miss and be okay?
Yeah.
Does that come into play for you? Like,
especially the shape of the shot. Like for that shot, if there's one thing I know is if I need to bend a ball, left to right,
we need to go
definitely going left to right. It's more like, all right. So again, situationally, if I have the same shot the other direction.
For context, we probably need to go out there and film this shot.
Yeah.
And show people.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Show people what you were up against that day.
Right.
But I think the older I've gotten, when it comes to aggressiveness, if it's going to take the perfect shot for me to get there, I won't do it.
Right.
Like
I have to see an area where a reasonable shot I can miss. And then I'll swing.
And I'm so much more. I do think that I'm a field player, And there's some shots I'll get over and be like, all right, I got this. I know I can hit the shot.
Yeah.
And there's some shots where I'm like, this does not feel right at all.
Right.
And I won't do it.
Yeah.
And like I used to not listen to myself. I have learned that taking my medicine and maybe settling for a bogey or a par has done wonders on the scorecard.
Oh my gosh. It's you can't have double bogeys or worse. You can't do it. So you have to do everything possible to avoid it.
Double bogeys are handicap killers.
Oh
They're round killers.
Yeah.
And I've accepted that sometimes bogey's the best score.
Right.
And, and that's what you got to do. You got to make, because bogey's way better than a triple. Way better than a triple.
Way better.
And when you look back on, I mean, it could be the difference between an 80 or a 77.
Right. Yeah. And if you get down into the 70s, every stroke is like, ooh, I'll bank that.
Correct.
So, yeah, it's
correct.
Yeah, so it's
sick.
It's wild. The game between the ears.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how's that? You want big what am I trying to say? Are you really going to work on that this year? Like the brain part of it?
Yeah. I got to just, read a little Bob Rotella again, maybe.
Love it. Love it.
Go back. But no, yeah, I think it's just I just gotta go out and trust it. So yeah, it's go ahead and work on something on the range, but then just go hit golf.
Just go be an athlete.
Just go hit shots.
Hit shots.
Yeah. Well,
when you're an athlete, Eric, you're a phenomenal golfer.
More of that. Yeah.
When you turn into your, I can see you doing it, man.
Yeah, I know.
When it's starting to go, you turn into like, all right, what did I learn in that lesson?
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to.
Yeah.
And I, for one, I am proud of how you can come in and out of it so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for this year, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
A lot of golf to play.
A lot of golf to play.
A little bit more tournament golf.
Yeah.
A little bit more variety, especially just there's so much good local golf here that I haven't quite touched yet. So let's do it.
All right. So wrapping up, you got a nice new little lid on your head there.
I think it's the year of the rope hat.
Year of the rope hat.
Yeah.
So Frommy is wearing the Army.
There we go.
This is the surf hat with a rope.
Hey.
It's the Hippie G surf hat, Army in color, 100% recycled nylon. These hats fit everyone's head. I mean, unless you just got a monster head.
Well, I think if it fits you and I, that's a testament.
Good to go.
It can fit anybody.
The hat floats.
Yeah.
You can wad it up and it just pops right back to where it is.
Yeah, these are cool hats.
Those are on the website now, and we've got a cool guest that we've almost got lined up.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, talking about golf trips. Love to check out Fairways to Heaven. Our good friend Dave Reed. We're gonna see if we can line him up. He's got he's organizing and going on trips internationally.
Yeah.
So obviously it's great to figure out sort of that maybe last second one nighter.
Is he going everywhere? Or is
he's everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's.
I bet he's got some stories.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's just so it's there's a golf trip and then there's a golf trip.
Sure.
And he's booking like the sort of cream of the crop sort of internationally. So that'll be really cool to sort of just go back and forth again. A trip I haven't gone on internationally. I haven't gone on a big trip like that. So I have some really good ones here in the U.S. But yeah, it'll be awesome to sort of.
Where would you want to go internationally first?
I think it's got to be sort of Scotland,
the home of golf.
Yeah, just that whole thing. Yeah. If it's a cliche, so be it. Because let's go. Yeah. But then I mean, there's some other spots.
Those accents over there.
Oh yeah, the whole just give me a brash caddy.
Fish and chips every night.
Screaming at me for my pre-shot routine. Like what, just.
Drop that ball up there like an old dog sitting in front of a fire. Something like that.
You're right. The pub afterward. Yeah, that whole thing. So that's definitely bucket list number one. And
Sweet.
And I think Dave's done it many times. But yeah, Fairways to Heaven. Check them out, and we'll see if we can get them on here to
first of the year
share some stories.
Be great.
So,
dude, this is awesome. Great pod. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
This will post right after Christmas, but Merry Christmas to you and your family, and looking forward to 2025.
Absolutely.
All right, see you guys on the next one.
Thanks for joining.
Peace.